Xfinity Live, and they are alive. Watching Matt Strom take on Vaughn Grissom, and you know what happened. Check swing, strikeout. Phillies win 3-1. They are back in the NLCS, second straight year. Your Philadelphia Phillies are part of baseball's Final Four. This was a game that looked like, almost from the beginning, that the Phillies were going to take it. We got a little nervous in the later innings. Ricky's giving me a look. I hear you. But we sensed it. We felt it. We knew it. At Citizens Bank Park, where there is such a clatter, where there's such glitter and sparkle, and it's a special, special feeling to see postseason baseball continue. The Phillies are now the team with the home field advantage. Who'd have thought in the National League Championship Series? And we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Bowe, Ben Davis, and Ruben Amaro Jr. We're at the ballpark in a moment. We'll get all the celebration. We have a team of reporters over at CBP to celebrate the second straight NLDS championship for the Phillies. Now on to the NLCS. And look, you got to call it the way it is.
You're out of your mind.
I am out of my mind, but you got to call it the way it is. The Philadelphia Phillies are one of baseball's power elites. You can't get to the Final Four 2 years in a row and say, yeah, it was kind of lucky. And no, they gave it to the Braves. Braves tried their butts off, and the Phillies took it.
Well, you look at some of the big names in these games. Just look at the big names in these games. Acuna, Olsen, Harper, Castellanos, Turner. You tell me who came out on top. I think it's that simple. The big names, the so-called MVP, didn't show up for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
But on the other side, for the Phillies, I mean, you had Turner show up, you had Harper show up in this series, you had Casty for sure show up in this series.
That guy,
that dude
Ranger
is
Suarez.
raking. Ranger is the best pitcher on this team.
Look at these guys.
I don't care what you say.
Easy.
No, I'm going to be completely honest. The Phillies outpitched this Braves team by 1.5 miles, but the offense was there behind them the whole way.
When you look at Trey Turner, what he did tonight, Nick Castellanos, Taijuan Walker didn't see a pitch. But you know what? He's there, and who knows what will happen in the NLCS and in the World Series. And this is a team that will now compete for another World Series title. And Topper, you say what you want about Rob Thompson. He has his finger on the pulse of this team. He pulled the strings to a fare-thee-well. And you sat there and you think, I don't know if it's going to work. You use Soto to close. You use Strom to close. You bring Kimbrel in earlier than he's normally in. You use Alvarado for 2 innings. He did all that, and it worked.
By the skin of their team.
There it is.
Unbelievable. This had so much in it, but the bottom line is the Phillies pitchers, for the most part, with the exception of the walks night, they shoved this entire series. Look at these. Look at this. 143, 154. 0-0-0, 154, 143, 143. It's unbelievable. You're talking about a team that hit 307 home runs in the regular season. They hit 3 in 4 games. 3. And Austin Riley hit 2 of them. So this is a ball club that just, they had their number. The Phillies had their number again. And boy, I got more gray hair.
Wait, but it looks good on you, I'll tell you that. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Speaking of home runs, man, 11 home runs by the Philadelphia Phillies in the NLDS. 11, and 2 of them coming tonight from Nick Castellanos. Trey Turner hits another home run. Castellanos becomes the first player in baseball to have multi-home run nights in successive games. It's insane. And this guy, he's way better than Bryce Harper, I'll tell you that.
It really is insane. I mean, Casty certainly showed up. But what he did and what he was able to do this entire – and I'm not surprised because he's one of those guys that has the mental makeup that things just do not faze him. He doesn't – the one thing that was phasing him when he first got to the Phillies was his comfort. Once he got comfortable here – he became the man. I mean, this guy had a heck of a year. We had an all-star season. He did struggle a little bit during the course of July and August, but then he came back and, he was just one of those guys, just extremely steady, and he was ready for the moment. And the fact that he came through the way he did. And I will say this, Michael, I always believe that it's always about the pitching. It's always about the pitching, and the Phillies starters were absolutely phenomenal in this series, and they have been in the postseason. And when you have quality starting pitching, then it gives those guys a chance in the back end to not have to force themselves to pitch so many innings. In this case, when Suarez was pitching, they did have to log a few, but my goodness, did they do a heck of a job.
Let me respectfully counter that, because it is always about the pitching unless your hitters can counteract, unless they have the antidote for good pitching, as they did against Spencer Strider, as they did against Max Fried. And we saw it in 2010 with the Phillies against the Giants. And Cody Ross beating that great pitching, how sick it made us. So sometimes good hitting can come back and withstand good pitching. It's not often, but when it happens, it's a thing of beauty. And
but when you look at you look at the games, they weren't really high scoring besides Game 3, where the Phillies scored 10 runs. I look at it this way: the Phillies have proven finally, and this was a fact I used to love to bring up, is that somebody will always step up in the lineup. If somebody's not going well, somebody else is there. You look at this series. Kyle Schwarber wasn't really here in this series, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Well, guess what? The Castellanos was, Harper was.
Turner was.
I mean, Turner was. So
Well,
my whole point is, if one guy goes a little bit cold, there's plenty of guys to pick him up, and I'm sure that's how that team feels right now. I mean, Castellanos, team MVP. I mean, for me, all season long, didn't make an error out in the outfield all season long. He raked for the most part. He went in a little bit of a slump in mid to late season, but he got out of it in a hurry. And now all of a sudden he's in the playoffs and he's playing. I mean, it almost looks like he's playing with sheer just having fun out there. And that doesn't always happen in baseball. And I'm watching him. I'm watching Harper's just like on a revenge tour from last year. He just wants to bulldoze through everybody. But Trey Turner is kind of coming back from everything he went through in one season. He was 4 for 4 tonight. I mean, this is incredible. This is just really good baseball that the Phillies played in this series. And they beat a good team. I mean, a team that necessarily didn't come up in big spots. I mean, they had some big spots tonight. Acuna had a big spot tonight. Olsen had a couple spots. The big guys in that lineup, the Phillies shut down.
Can I give you some batting averages for the Phillies in the postseason? At 6 games worth, Trey Turner is only hitting 500 in the postseason. That is just sick. Bryce Harper, 368. Nick Castellanos, 391. Brandon Marsh, 357, albeit in limited at bats.
What is Castellanos' slugging percentage?
I don't have. Do I have it right here? I don't have it right. What is it?
1.000.
1.00 is his slugging percentage. And when you look at batting averages like that against playoff pitching, that's pretty special. The question is, does it carry over? The question is, we wipe the slate clean.
But you don't know that. You don't know if it's going to carry. Enjoy the moment. I mean, this team's going back to the NLCS again. That's what you should be worried about right now. Is that, hey, we got 3 days to chill about it, talk about it, and then they go out and play. And the best part about this is that all the lesser ranked teams win. All of a sudden, the Phillies have a home field advantage.
Yeah.
How does this happen?
Let's go across the street.
What are we doing?
Let's go. I'll tell you what we're doing. We're going to Tom McCarthy right now, standing by moments ago with Brandon Marsh.
Brandon, what do you think about this? It's like a big old party, isn't it?
Hey, this is what it's all about right here, baby. Philly Nation, you already know. Let's go. We ain't done yet. Love you guys. Let's go.
The amazing thing is that when this song plays, everybody kind of just stops and starts to rock and roll. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we love it too. We started dancing and stuff too. We saw Rowe out there in the top of the ninth getting jiggy with it. So we're going to keep riding, baby.
All right, tell me about that catch that Johan made. You were out there watching the whole thing. You had a front row seat to it.
Peace, love, Rojas, baby. That's it. That's just a big-time player making a big-time play in a big-time situation. Shout out to Rowe.
Well, so the outfielders got to go, and Castellanos had a pretty good swing tonight, huh?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, he was feeling it. We need that out of 8. Yeah. Eight's a ball player. That's what he does, man.
Well, so are you. Go enjoy it. Thank you, buddy. Brandon Marsh, everybody. It's a party.
Brandon Marsh, team member. Because when you have a guy that sits more than he plays in the postseason, certainly in the second round, and is smiling like that, and who contributes the way he has in his limited play, how special is that, Mr. General Manager?
It really is. And you need all your parts. And that's exactly what this team is all about. It was a team. They had contributions up and down the lineup. like the entire season. If one guy was not doing the job, or for extended period of time, somebody else would pick them up. If one guy was getting hot, somebody would jump on his back. And so it was just really nice to see these guys and the depth of the lineup and the depth of the entire team, everybody contributing. And that's what you have to do to be a championship caliber club. It can come from a lot of different spots. In tonight's game, Johan Rojas, did not swing the bat, didn't get one hit, but he was a hero in a lot of ways because he made a heck of a play and sort of saved the game on that Acuna fly ball. So it was a total team effort. I know this sounds cliche, but it's true. In this case, this is a team effort, and these a bunch of guys that really love each other. It's a wonderful thing to see.
Bryce Harper 1 for 2 tonight with 2 walks. He was on base 3 times. Of course, the big question is, how's his elbow? Here he is with John Clark a little bit ago.
All right, we are here with Bryce Harper. First of all, a little scare. What happened there?
Nah, he just hit my funny bone.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm good. I'm a little nervous, but I'm good. Yeah.
What can you say about this team to knock off the 104-win Braves this year, and also last year to go back-to-back NLCS?
I'll tell you what, man, that is an unbelievable team right there. That's a great lineup, good pitching staff. That's an unbelievable team. I'm so proud of everybody on this team right now that we are able to do that and get the job done tonight at home. Without this crowd, without this team, we wouldn't have done that. Like I said, that's an unbelievable team over there. And for us to do that tonight, just another stepping stone to get into the World Series and doing that job.
Spencer Strider is unbelievable in the regular season against you guys. What is it about the postseason, especially here against them?
He's still really good. That's the thing. Like, anything can happen in these games. Anything can happen in postseason baseball. Everybody knows that. I mean, he's going to probably end up winning the Cy Young this year. You know what I'm saying? And he just did such a great job. And I thought we established it earlier that we're going to come at him. And Castellanos with the homer, Trey with the homer, and Casty again. That's what Casty does. That's why he's here. And that's why I wanted to play with him. Because I remember him doing that when we were 16, 17, 18 years old. And that's what it's all about.
Mr. Red October, right?
That's right.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Congrats. Thank you.
John Clark with Bryce Harper. And Bryce Harper, I thought it was interesting. He said to Spencer Strider, he said that guy was still good. He was good in this series, and he was good tonight. And I think it's important to point out, the guy is good. They beat a good pitcher who was good. 2.84 ERA in the playoffs is pretty darn good for Spencer Strider. And these guys came and they solved them.
He was awesome in these 2 games that he pitched with Spencer Strider. He was flat out awesome. He gave up 1 earned run in game 1, and then he gave up 3 earned runs tonight. I mean, the bottom line, he's got a 2.84 ERA. He threw 96 pitches tonight, 70 for strikes, and he had 19 swings and misses. He was excellent, but Nick Castellanos and Trey Turner were better on this particular evening, and obviously Ranger Suarez was a little bit better than Spencer Strider.
Yeah, and I love that. You said we take on their best, and they do the same, and when they both clash, you see where it lands, and where it landed was in the Phillies' favor.
They just do not match up with the Phillies. I'm sorry. This is 2
They do
years
in the
in a row.
regular season.
I don't care about what does the regular season mean? What have we learned? What have we learned from this season?
That's a great question.
But no,
I think it's ones that
teams that had won 92 games or more are 1-13 in the playoffs. 1-13, and guess what? All those teams now, bye-bye. You're all gone. You're all gone. Who's standing? The Fightins.
Yeah, you're right.
They're winning the World Series.
All right,
here.
I got some good news and some not so good. Here's the good news: is we got Topper addressing the team in the post game right now. We got. Now, here the bad news is you're going to have to listen to me lip sync what the heck Topper's saying to the team. But we'll get the audio later. This is off the Fanavision right now. But here's Topper in the clubhouse addressing the team, and Bryce Harper without a shirt. Look at that, Bryce Harper.
Dude's a rock.
My goodness, they're all Chippendales in there. They got the skin. Bryce. No, you can't hear Topper.
That's all music.
I just heard stuff in the background. So. There's Topper, and he's making his toast, and he's holding the champagne bottle up, and they're all pumped. This is a bigger celebration each time they go to the next round. And, of course, once the corks come off, once the champagne starts to flow, then you better duck and cover. That's what happens. And if you're over there right now, it's going to be a lot of fun, as long as you're wearing a raincoat.
8 more wins. 8 more wins.
8 more wins. And they are champions of baseball. which will be pretty special.
It's
Will
happening.
be pretty special. You think it's happening?
I do.
I know you don't say that type of thing.
I
lightly.
never say that. I'm
Michael,
telling you, I got a
how
feeling.
come they're facing the best team in baseball with 104 wins? And there was never any doubt. Was there any doubt in anybody's mind in the city of Philadelphia they were going to beat the Braves? I mean,
No.
seriously, none of us thought they were going to lose to the Braves.
No.
I mean,
No.
that says something about, the character of this ball club and the belief that they have in each other.
Yeah.
You had him in 4?
I had him in 4.
I had him in 4.
Yeah.
Ben had him in 4.
Yeah.
Mr. Non-Believer had him in 1.
He changed before the
I did change
before.
before the game, but I
You
did
can't
say
do that.
originally 5. But I had them winning. I did believe that they were going to win because they have something that's very special. They have something that is immeasurable when you start talking about analytics and all that other stuff. But they have heart, and they have the belief in themselves, and they really love playing baseball with each other. And that's a really important element of championship caliber clubs. And you got that sense at the end of the year last year. They've carried it all the way through this year and to this very moment. And it's so fun to watch these guys throw that alcohol around.
It sure is. And from your perspective, guys, how much from what you've watched is analytics, and how much is it Rob Thompson's gut, and how much is it Dave Dombrowski's gut versus, okay, this guy's 233 against him, he's a lefty, we got to pull. How much of that is Topper pulling the strings by feel versus analytics?
I'm going to say feel maybe 55% analytics, 45%. There's definitely some analytics that go along with this, but like what he did tonight and what he did the first game that Rangers started in this, I mean, I find that a little bit under the crazy area. So
why 3 2/3?
6 relievers. The first night he threw in 6 when Rangers started that game. He threw 6 relievers after Ranger. Do you know how hard it is to have 6 relievers all pitch well in one night? Am I right?
Twice.
And
You've been behind the plate for many years.
it's
How many
not-
times do you have a reliever? Even if one of those guys goes south.
It never works out, especially when you use both your closers in the 7th and 8th inning.
Yeah.
He used Alvarado in the 6th inning, or the 6th inning. He came in with the 6th inning with 2 outs, and then he pitches the next inning, and then Kimbrel's got to come in.
Yeah.
I disagree.
incredible.
I disagree on one thing. I think in a lot of ways, Topper actually has a feel for which guys he wants to line up against certain guys. I don't think that he necessarily looks into those numbers. I think he utilizes some of them, but I don't think that he rides on those. And I think it's more like 80-20 as far as 80 feel, 20 analytics, in my opinion, just because I know that Topper's the kind of guy that he understands the game. He reads swings. He sees certain things. Yes, there's a lot of information out there, and I'm sure he's looking at it and analyzing it. But I really do feel like that Topper's one of those guys that believes that there's a way to win the game early in the game, that there's a way to win the game late in the game. And in this case, I think he felt like he needed to utilize his guys early to get out of certain situations to get to the ninth.
But whatever he did, however he went about it, he did the right thing because they only gave up 8 runs to the Braves in 4 games. That is going about it in the right way.
I don't know about you, but I want a beer. I want some champagne.
I want to go jump
I
in
want
those
some pigs
tubs
and
of beer.
blanket. Yeah, look at that, man. And Kyle Schwarber soaked to the T-shirt, soaked down to the bone. They put the goggles on like they're going skiing, and they never lower them. They don't mind the champagne, apparently, right in the face. And it's just such to see unbridled joy like that we all are reflected in, we all bask in, and Bryce Harper,
He hasn't been this fired up in there. I haven't seen it. Good for him.
He's very young.
Guys hitting bombs and drinking brews. Let's go.
Attaboy, Harper.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've never seen him drink before. Have you?
I don't even know if he drank. I don't know if he drank
Here
it.
comes the music. Let's listen. together forever, said the late, great Flyers head coach Fred Shiro. And by the way, the Flyers won their opener tonight on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Win today, walk together forever, or in the Phillies case, you dance together forever and you drink together forever, even if it's in your minds as you grow old. But this is a special time. And Ruben, I know you were observing while they were dancing. It's amazing, isn't it?
What is amazing to me is how physically close they are to each other. I mean, you can just sense like how like the brotherhood. I mean, usually, you know, guys are spraying each other. You see 2 guys over here, you see 4 guys over there. They're all just together. It's really amazing. I've never seen anything like it, and it's just the coolest thing. I mean, it's so cool.
It looked like a rugby scrum.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible, but you can see the way, as Ruben said, the way they feel about each other and how close they all are to each other, and they're united in one achievement and one goal that they still have to meet, and that's an awesome thing.
I get nervous being this close to you guys, for crying out loud. Although if we have some beers, hey, I'll jump on you. What the heck?
You got a real pretty mouth. All right, let's go one more time back to the clubhouse and check in with John Clark, who's with the closer extraordinaire, Matt Strom.
All right, we are here with Matt Strom. What a moment for you tonight. How satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, this atmosphere, this crowd, they make it unbelievable. They make it a joy to come to the park every day. A lot of work left for us, but again, this is what I came here for, so looking forward to what's to come.
How impressive was the entire pitching staff, starters and bullpen in this series?
Say that again?
How impressive was the starting staff and the bullpen in this series?
Yeah, I mean, our starters did an unbelievable job. I mean, anytime you got Wheeler and Nola, I mean, 2 workhorses to carry you. And then, I've been saying it all year, we got 5 closers down in that bullpen. Topper can pick a name out of the hat and run them out there.
The Braves had the most wins in baseball this year. Last year they had over 100 wins. Can you explain what happens to them when they come up here to Philly?
I mean, the fans, man. I mean, it's not an easy place to play if you're not wearing the right jersey.
How about what Nick Castellanos did the last couple nights? You as a pitcher, to be able to do that against the guys he did it against, especially Strider.
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy that you obviously see's locked in, and you might peek the dugout to see if your manager wants to walk him or not. But what Cassie's doing is unbelievable, and, you know, just hopefully we can keep doing what we're doing.
You talked about your role all year and it being whatever it was going to be. Did you ever envision it possibly being a moment like that?
I mean, you always dream of it, but when you got guys like Alvy and Craig Kimbrell in your bullpen, you don't really anticipate it happening. But you saw what happened today. We went to them early, and you kind of look around, and it's like, all right, however the lineup matches up, that's how it's going to be.
Rob said this team gets punched in the mouth, and they get up. Talk about the resiliency of this club that continued to fight even after coming out of Atlanta.
Yeah, I think we just know what we have in this clubhouse. And, I mean, no one can tell us otherwise. That's about it.
And now you have home field advantage for the League Championship Series. What's
John Clark with Matt Strom. Matt Strom quote. Matt Strom quote from April. Quote, for me, I'm not worried about pitch count, up, downs, whatever. When the ball gets taken from me, that's when I'm done. I refuse to call myself a reliever or starter. I'm just a pitcher. Whatever they need it, I'm going to do it. And that's what he did. And that's a team guy. And there's too few of them in sports, especially professional sports today. But that is a team guy. Just tell me what to do. I'll help it any way I can.
And it's not just him. It's 26 of those guys in that clubhouse. And Brandon Marsh, I think, is a perfect example. Did not play really a whole lot in this postseason because of all the left-handed pitchers that the Phillies are facing. But yet he goes 3 for 4 last night with a home run. He goes 2 for 4 tonight and really getting on base. And he said, this is not the time of year to be thinking about yourself. You're trying to achieve one common goal, and that's a World Series championship trophy to give back to Mr. Middleton.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if you saw some of the shirts that the guys are wearing. And I know Orion Kirkering, he didn't get into tonight's game, but he going to get into the NLCS, you know that, the reliever, or whatever kind of pitcher you might want to call him, according to Matt Strom.
He's just a pitcher.
But he's just a pitcher.
Some
of them are wearing, some of them are wearing shirts that say "Attaboy Harper" on one side, and on the other side, he said he didn't hear it.
He wasn't supposed to hear it.
He wasn't supposed to hear it, which is what Arcia said, Orlando Arcia.
See, I would wear one of those.
Yeah. You can't see it here. Now it's just that it's kind of turned into.
Oh, it is? No, Casty always takes over about this time.
Yeah.
And when it starts bumping, Casty takes over.
That's the Miami in him.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it's a lot of winning when you know what the trend of the party is.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, based on 2 years of accomplishment, and you know that Casty around midnight starts to take over the party in the DJ booth and get the shirt off.
I'm a little concerned. We've only seen one shot of Stubbs here.
Yeah, where's Stubby?
He's swinging from a light somewhere.
There he is. Garrett Stubbs in a beer shower, given to him by himself.
Oh, he is hilarious.
Kyle Schwarber wants to, and he's got extra beers in the
Don't
front
mess with
pocket
Schwarbsy.
of his overalls. Yeah.
How much fun are they having?
Oh, but Schwarb's going to come out and be a menace in the NLCS.
Yeah, I hope you're right. And you can see they're all holding the ring.
They're giving him the ring finger.
Those are ring fingers. Those are ring fingers, and signifying their quest for a championship, which they are 8 wins away from, starting Saturday?
Monday.
Like I said, Monday.
Monday.
And who'd have thought this? They are a wild card team that will have home field advantage in the NLCS. That's pretty special.
That's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Look, it is. It's almost impossible.
Bryce, why do you think?
Do we have to wait till Monday?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, trust me, you might want to wait till Monday after. These guys might not stop partying until Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one of the reasons why they're partying so hard. I will tell you this. It is really, really hard to win, and it is really very even more difficult to go back-to-back to NLCSs. They should celebrate this win. It's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do. There's 30 other teams trying to do this stuff, and only a few of them get to go to the last couple of dances, and so they should enjoy this because they've accomplished a lot.
And when you go, there's a shirt right there. It says, "Hey, attaboy Harper," and he wasn't supposed to hear it, which I think is tremendous. Whatever the reason, whether Orlando Arcia meant to have it heard or did not meant to have it heard, it was relayed to Bryce Harper, and last night, kapow! 2 home runs along with Nick Castellanos last night, and tonight another 2 for Castellanos, which is just incredible. But part of the reason, and you 3 know this all too well, they started February 12th, 13th, or thereabouts. Opening days at the end of March.
Yep.
They lose 3, take them on the chin to the Texas Rangers. Who knows if they'll get to avenge that a little bit down the road. That would be nice. And then they go into really a struggle until June 3rd. They wake up June 3rd, which is the anniversary of Rob Thompson taking over the team, and they kick it into gear one more time. And when you look at their records, 3rd or 4th best record from June 3rd till now of any team in baseball. How special is that? It's 100-plus games. Let's go. Go ahead.
It's very odd the way the season has gone, because it has been almost like a flashback to 2022. Now all of a sudden we're in another year and they're back in the same exact spot again. I trust in Rob. That's it.
Well, how about that for Ricky Bo to say that's pretty special? Let's go back to the clubhouse. Amy Fadul with Kyle Schwarber.
It's always good to beat the Braves. How important was this game? You didn't want to go back to Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely want to do it here at home, and we can't say enough about what Ranger did and what our pitching staff did, but Nicky with the big swing, Stray with the big swing. They all did such a hey, we did a great job. But we wanted to do it here in front of this electric crowd. It was unbelievable tonight, and they carried us this series. And thank you guys.
I got that.
But Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, the whole effort we've had this whole postseason has been great, and we just took another step to where we want to go.
Yeah, how are you feeling now heading into the series with the Diamondbacks? You guys have home field advantage again.
Yeah, you know, whenever we have home field advantage, especially with this crowd, it's unbelievable. So, you know, we're definitely going to celebrate tonight and enjoy the off days. But, yeah, we're going to be ready. We're going to be focused. We're going to be ready to go, and can't wait to get to that game on Monday.
Tell people what it's like to be inside here, because I can't describe it.
It never gets old, I'll tell you that. You know, every postseason win's just as big as the last one, and you know, whenever you can celebrate and you know, be here at home and enjoy it, this is what it's all about.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
And if you do it with Kyle Schwarber, and you think about Kyle Schwarber, and you think of the consummate leader, and you think, well, a team needs one good leader. Then you think about Bryce Harper. You think about the consummate leader. A team's got two good leaders. Then you think about Nick Castellanos. He's an all-star. He's been around. The bases, so to speak. They got three leaders. Then you think about JT Realmuto, BCIB, best catcher in baseball. Team's got four leaders. Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. You can go Jose Alvarado. This team has leaders. And how important is that in a sport like this to take this team where it needs to go?
I think it's extremely important. I mean, I came up with when Darren Dalton was a leader of the Phillies, and Ruben was a leader of the Phillies after that. And when Ruben took care of it, he went straight to general manager after that. So, I mean, yeah. but in reality, you know, having somebody that you can go to if you feel like you're not doing something right on the field, and there's not going to be that repercussion of going to the coaching staff, I think it's great. I think it's great if you got guys that you can go to. And on this team, you look up. I look up and down their lineup. I can go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in their starting lineup. That's not including pitchers.
And what's great, I think, about the leadership roles that these different individuals have, I think they do it more so with their play, with their preparation, and how they go about their business. And I don't think a whole lot has to be said in that clubhouse about getting your work done prior to going into the ball game, because I think you see these guys, they work. And they work and they work. And I think you feed off of that. So if this guy's doing it, maybe I should be doing it. And that's why I'm saying I don't think a whole lot has to be said vocally, because it starts at the top with Rob Thompson. They have a tremendous coaching staff. They understand the players and the players' needs. But I think they look and see the preparation that goes into why they're MVPs, why they're all-stars, and why they sign these big contracts for $300 million, because it is part of their preparation, and a lot is said for that.
Bryson Stotts with Amy Fadul in the clubhouse. Amy.
You get a target on your back when you do this. So I appreciate you stopping. I've been asking the guys how important it was to get this win. You didn't want to go back to Atlanta. How big was this game?
Very big. Yeah, no, you don't want to go back there and get us sleeping on beds a couple more nights. And that was our big thing, not going back to Atlanta. So to get it done here was awesome.
And Braves made you work for it. Strider, every pitcher they brought in, it wasn't easy. Does that make it all the more sweeter that one, you had to really work for it, and two was the Braves?
Yeah, no, they got good arms over there, and like I said before the game, anytime you face Strider, it's going to be a grind, and make him throw a lot of pitches and try to get him out of there and get to the pen. And I mean, we left some guys on base that we thought we could have put the game away earlier, but just a hell of a job from the bullpen and Ranger as always. Yeah, just all around great.
Getting it done in front of the home crowd, I know you guys heard them.
Yes, it's impossible not to, and we feed off them, and we got to give them something to cheer about and stay in the game. So they've been with us all year and through these playoffs so far, and it's been, I mean, you can't put into words how cool it is out there.
And you're looking at the next series, you guys have home field advantage. How much is that going to help?
Yeah, playing the 2 games at home. First time we did it was the wild card series, but last year it felt like we were on the road every single day. So it's going to be huge, and they're going to be rowdy, and we can't wait.
Thanks, Bryce.
Yeah, of course.
I'll tell you what, when you cover an assignment like this, as you saw with Amy, one microphone is insufficient. It was a two-mic job. It was a two-mic.
Well, everybody else was two-fisted it, Michael.
Two-fisted, right? You know, I'll tell you what, I've never been in that situation because we've been sitting here. I don't know. Would you like to be in that? Of course you would as players.
Yeah.
But that's
a player.
Nothing like
that's
it.
a player. Yeah. That's you wearing a suit. It's a different story.
I'd like to go swimming in the bottom of that locker room right now.
Yeah, okay, we can arrange that. Stand by
Swim
for
with the
Ricky.
fishes.
Ricky's coming.
You want a circle?
And you know how we look afterwards? Similar to right now. Another look at the Phillies clubhouse. Everything is taped and draped. He wasn't supposed to hear it, says that T-shirt of Bryce Harper. And the quote is from Orlando Arcia, the Braves shortstop. Hey, Harper.
I actually think that, obviously it was a somewhat of a motivating factor for these guys, but I don't think it was that much of a motivating factor. These guys have one goal, and that's to be the World Series champions, to put a ring on their finger, the real ring on their finger after the season. And I know that probably sparked them a little bit, but these guys are already motivated enough. I think it makes for a great story. But these are like great players who do great things. Castellanos, what he did, the 4 home runs in 2 games. Harper, the things that he's been doing like his entire career in the postseason. These are great players. That's why they signed the big contracts. Yeah. And they came through when it was time for them to come through. And you got to give Dave Dombrowski, I know Topper gets a lot of love and should, but I think Dave Dombrowski and the front office and all those guys, we haven't talked about that. They brought these guys in here to win. And John Middleton as well. They have committed to this team, to this franchise, and to this fan base that they are here to try to win championships, and they got the right players.
Back to Bryce Harper for a moment, because I want your thoughts on this. Mm-hmm. I think that Arcia quote was definitely a motivator last night, because you don't hit your first home run and make it a point to look at the guy as you go around. There's Bryce outside posing. Look at that. He's talking about letting the hair down, man. All the hair, which is as he parties. But when you think about what he did as he passed Arcia both times, I'm thinking that is in the forefront of his brain, and you all know that athletes will take motivation from wherever they can get it. One little thing just to get them tipped off.
But it's very simple. Sometimes that rage could go in a different direction and not help you. It actually, you have to, right. For Bryce Harper, it's completely different. I mean, there might be somebody that talked about me, and I may go out to the mound, and you know what? What am I going to do? I'm going to either get them out or I'm going to buzz their tower, one of the two. But that could always backfire. You leave one out over the middle of the plate, he hits a home run off you, and you say, you know what, you were right. You were 100% right. Yeah. But, I mean, in certain situations, there's certain guys that just can step above everything and just do, you know, the payback thing. It's just not that easy. No. Ben has talked about this, that it's just not easy to pay somebody back like that. I think everybody out there in Philadelphia Phillies land that are fans thinks that Bryce Harper is almost like a little bit of a magician. Because I'm telling you, I played the game. These two have played the game. What he did last night is closer to impossible than it is possible.
Than winning a lottery.
Yeah.
At $1.7 billion.
Yeah, but he does it.
But but I don't. That's where that's where we don't get it.
Right.
I couldn't understand it.
A lot of people, when they get challenged or they have something said about them, a lot of guys go out and say, "Well, I'll show them," and they try harder. And they try harder and harder, and everything starts to be a grind. Next thing you know, you're swinging at bad pitches, you're overswinging, you're screwing yourself into the ground, your bat's slowing down because you're overswinging. Not Bryce Harper. It allows him to focus in even more and get that much better. But I think another motivating factor for this ball club in general is the fact that they fell 2 wins short last year. And I think that left a sour taste in their mouth. And yeah, some things were said about Bryce Harper and maybe some other guys on this ball club, but I think that is the underlying motivation factor for this ball club. In fact, guys, we were so close. We're 2 wins away. We don't want that to happen again this year.
Yeah, but as we go to break, I also love the fact that Harper said, remember, last night after the game, you know what? I love playing this game, and yeah, I stared him down because that's how the game should be played. Kind of like I was just having fun. You diss me, now I'm going to diss you back by my play on the field.
Man.
You want to try to get me back? Let's go ahead. You can try to get me back, but I'm going to win the whole thing.